What numerical value is represented by the Roman numerals CD? 400. In Roman numerals, C represents 100 and D represents 500. When a smaller numeral precedes a larger one, it indicates subtraction, so CD represents 500 minus 100 equals 400. During which month of the year does the summer solstice occur in the northern hemisphere? June. The summer solstice marks the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. It typically occurs around June 20th or 21st, signifying the astronomical beginning of summer. An abecedarian is a person who is learning what? The alphabet. An abecedarian refers to someone in the initial stages of learning the alphabet. This term is often used in the context of early childhood education. In Greek mythology, who was condemned to hold the world on his shoulders for all eternity as punishment for warring against Zeus? Atlas. In Greek mythology, Atlas was a titan who fought against Zeus and the Olympian gods. As punishment for his rebellion, he was forced to bear the weight of the heavens, often interpreted as the world or the celestial sphere, on his shoulders for eternity. Which future British monarch married Maria Fitzherbert in 1785? King George IV. George IV, while Prince of Wales, secretly married Maria Fitzherbert, a Roman Catholic, in 1785. The marriage was invalid under British law because it was performed without royal consent and because Fitzherbert was Catholic. Which birds traditionally inhabit the Tower of London? Ravens. Legend holds that if the ravens ever leave the Tower of London, both the tower and the kingdom will fall. Today, at least 6 ravens are maintained at the tower by a raven master. Who invented ballistite, a type of smokeless powder, in 1887? Alfred Nobel. Alfred Nobel, the Swedish chemist, engineer, and inventor, created ballistite in 1887. This smokeless powder was a significant advancement in explosives technology. The Geraldary letter was dictated by which infamous Australian to Joe Byrne in 1879? Ned Kelly. Ned Kelly, a notorious Australian bushranger, dictated the Geraldary letter to Joe Byrne in 1879. The letter outlines Kelly's grievances against the police and the colonial government. What was the name of the British Royal Navy research vessel commanded by Lieutenant James Cook during his 1769 voyage of discovery to Australia and New Zealand? HMS Endeavour, or Bark Endeavour. HMS Endeavour, commanded by Lieutenant James Cook, played a pivotal role in the exploration and charting of the coasts of Australia and New Zealand during Cook's first voyage, 1768 to 1771. In 1973, Patrick White became the first Australian to win a Nobel Prize in what field? Literature. Patrick White was the first Australian to be awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1973. He was recognized for his epic and psychologically insightful novels that introduced a new continent into literature. The seaside resort of New Brighton is located on the northeastern tip of which English peninsula? Wirral Peninsula. New Brighton, a seaside resort town, is situated on the northeastern tip of the Wirral Peninsula. The Wirral Peninsula is a peninsula in northwest England, bordered by the River Dee to the west and the River Mersey to the east. Cynomania is the intense enthusiasm or obsession for which type of animal? Dog. Cynomania refers to an excessive fondness or obsession with dogs. It signifies an unusually strong interest in or love for canines. For which tree is Acer the Latin name? Maple. Acer is the genus of trees and shrubs commonly known as maple. Maples are known for their vibrant fall foliage and are important in various cultures. Between which two planets in our solar system does the planet Venus lie? Earth and Mercury. Venus, often called Earth's sister planet, due to its similar size and density, is positioned between Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun, and Earth. Its orbit is closer to the Sun than Earth's. In which US state did the first Walmart store open in July 1962? Arkansas. The first Walmart store, founded by Sam Walton, opened in Rogers, Arkansas, in 1962. This marked the beginning of the global retail giant's expansion. In which European country is the daily newspaper, Tages-Anzeiger, published? Switzerland. Tages-Anzeiger is a prominent daily newspaper published in Zurich, Switzerland, providing coverage of national and international news. It is a major source of news and information for the Swiss population. In Greek mythology, who is the muse of history? Clio. Clio is the muse of history in Greek mythology, representing the importance of historical record and narrative. Muses were the inspirational goddesses of literature, science, and the arts. Which former actor was elected governor of California in 1966? Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, a former actor, was elected as the 33rd governor of California in 1966. This marked a significant transition from his entertainment career into the realm of politics, paving the way for his future presidency. What is the official language of Tunisia? Arabic. Arabic is the official language of Tunisia, reflecting the country's cultural and historical ties to the Arab world. It is used in government, education, and media throughout the nation. How many US presidents have been assassinated in office? 4. 4 US presidents have been assassinated while in office: Abraham Lincoln, James A. Garfield, William McKinley, and John F. Kennedy. These assassinations represent significant moments of crisis and transition in American history. Which Prime Minister of Great Britain first introduced income tax? William Pitt the Younger. William Pitt the Younger introduced income tax in Britain in 1799 as a temporary measure to finance the Napoleonic Wars. It was later reintroduced in 1842 and has since become a permanent feature of the British tax system. What is a kamatik, used by Eskimos? Dog sled. A kamatik is a traditional Inuit sled, typically made of wood, bone, or frozen fish and used for transportation across snow and ice. It is pulled by dogs and is an essential tool for survival in Arctic regions. In which South American country is the Resende nuclear fuel factory located? Brazil. The Resende nuclear fuel factory, also known as Fábrica de Combustível Nuclear, FCN, is a nuclear fuel production facility located in Resende, Brazil. It is a key component of Brazil's nuclear program, responsible for producing fuel for the country's nuclear power plants. Of which European country was Aldo Moro the Prime Minister? Italy. Aldo Moro served as the Prime Minister of Italy on 2 separate occasions during the 1960s and 1970s. He was a prominent figure in the Christian Democratic Party and was tragically kidnapped and murdered by the Red Brigades in 1978. Rhinology is the study of which part of the human body? Nose. Rhinology is the scientific study of the nose and its associated structures, including the nasal passages and sinuses. It is a subspecialty within otolaryngology, ENT. In which year did British author Charles Dickens die? 1870. Charles Dickens, a prominent Victorian-era author, died in 1870. He is celebrated for his novels like Oliver Twist and A Tale of Two Cities, which offered social commentary and vivid character portrayals of 19th century England. Fraxinus excelsior is the Latin name for which tree? Ash. Fraxinus excelsior, commonly known as the European ash or common ash, is a species of ash native to most of Europe. It is widely cultivated for timber and is an important part of European ecosystems. The painting, The Anatomy Lesson of Dr. Nicolai Stulp, is attributed to which Dutch artist? Rembrandt. The Anatomy Lesson of Dr. Nicolai Stulp, 1632, is one of Rembrandt's early masterpieces. It depicts an anatomy demonstration by Dr. Nicolaes Tulp, a prominent surgeon in Amsterdam during the 17th century. In International Morse code, which numeral is represented by 2 dashes followed by 3 dots? 7. International Morse code is a character encoding system transmitting alphabetic and numeric information using standardized sequences of short and long signals, dots and dashes. The numeral 7 is represented by the sequence, in Morse code. What is the modern-day name of the Kingdom of Mauritania? Morocco. The Kingdom of Mauritania was an ancient Berber kingdom in present-day Morocco and Algeria. It existed from the 3rd century BC until it was annexed by the Roman Empire. What does the Latin phrase, primus inter pares, translate to in English? First among equals. Primus inter pares is a Latin phrase meaning, first among equals. It is typically used to denote a person who is nominally the leader of a group but who does not have any real power over the other members. What is the name of the 1780 London riots, which were an anti-Catholic protest against the 1778 Papists Act? Gordon Riots. The Gordon Riots were a series of anti-Catholic riots in London in June 1780. They were sparked by the Papists Act of 1778, which aimed to reduce some of the discrimination against Roman Catholics in Britain. In 1960, Makarios III became the first president of which Mediterranean island nation? Cyprus. Makarios III served as the first president of Cyprus from 1960 to 1977. Cyprus gained independence from British rule in 1960, marking a significant moment in its history. William of Orange was the husband of which English sovereign? Mary II. William of Orange, also known as William III, co-reigned with his wife Mary II following the Glorious Revolution of 1688. Their joint reign marked a shift towards constitutional monarchy in England. The Chianti Mountains are part of which larger mountain range? Apennines. The Apennine Mountains are a mountain range extending along the entire Italian peninsula. The Chianti Mountains, known for the Chianti wine region, are located within the Apennines. Which U.S. state is known as the Beaver State? Oregon. Oregon is known as the Beaver State due to the historical importance of the beaver fur trade in the region. The beaver is also Oregon's official state animal. In humans, esotropia affects which part of the body? Eyes. Esotropia, also known as cross-eye or convergent strabismus, is a condition where one or both eyes turn inward. It is a type of strabismus, affecting the alignment of the eyes. A barista makes and serves what beverage? Coffee. A barista is a trained professional who specializes in preparing and serving coffee-based drinks. The term originated in Italy and has become widely used in coffee shops around the world. What is the national flower of Pakistan? Jasmine, or chambal. The national flower of Pakistan is jasmine, also known as chambal. It symbolizes love, respect, and hope, and is deeply rooted in the country's culture and traditions. What is the common name for ethylene glycol? Antifreeze. Ethylene glycol is an organic compound widely used as antifreeze in automotive cooling systems. It lowers the freezing point of water, preventing damage to engines in cold temperatures. Which mountain range is commonly referred to as the backbone of England? The Pennines. The Pennines, a range of mountains and hills separating northern England from southern England, are often called the backbone of England. This range is known for its scenic beauty and historical significance. In which year was former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher born? 1925. Margaret Thatcher, a prominent figure in British politics, was born in 1925. She served as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1979 to 1990, becoming the longest-serving British Prime Minister of the 20th century. Which United States city was formerly known as New Amsterdam? New York. New Amsterdam was the 17th-century Dutch colonial settlement that later became New York City. The English seized New Amsterdam in 1664 and renamed it New York in honor of the Duke of York. In 1972, who was the first American to win the World Chess Championship? Bobby Fischer. Bobby Fischer's victory in 1972 against Boris Spassky marked a significant moment in chess history. It represented the end of Soviet dominance in the sport. How many territories does Canada have? 3. Canada's 3 territories are Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. They have less autonomy than Canadian provinces. Which body of water is referred to as the Great Sea in the Bible? Mediterranean Sea. The Mediterranean Sea, bordering Europe, Asia, and Africa, holds historical and biblical significance. It has been a vital route for trade, cultural exchange, and conquest throughout history. Laguna de Bay is the largest lake in which Asian country? Philippines. Laguna de Bay is the largest lake in the Philippines and is located southeast of Metro Manila. It's a significant source of fresh water and supports fisheries and agriculture. Which country has the airline KLM? The Netherlands. KLM Royal Dutch Airlines is the flag carrier airline of the Netherlands. Founded in 1919, it is one of the oldest operating airlines in the world. What is the only sign of the zodiac not named after a living creature, and after what is it named? Libra, named after the scales. Libra is the only zodiac sign represented by an inanimate object. It symbolizes balance and justice, represented by the scales. In what year did the weather forecast appear in *The Times newspaper for the first time? 1860. The publication of weather forecasts marked an important development in meteorology and public communication of scientific information. *The Times*, a leading British newspaper, began including these forecasts, reflecting growing public interest in weather patterns. What is the largest of the West Indian islands? Cuba. Cuba is the largest island in the Caribbean Sea. Its strategic location and size have made it a significant player in the region's history and politics. St. Johnstown was once the capital city of Scotland. By what name is St. Johnstown now known? Perth. Perth, historically known as St. Johnstown, held significant political importance in early Scottish history. It served as a capital at various times before Edinburgh permanently assumed the role. What is the largest city in Switzerland? Zurich. Zurich is the largest city in Switzerland and a global center for banking and finance. Although it's not the capital, it is an important economic and cultural hub within the country. The Ural Mountains form a natural border between which 2 continents? Asia and Europe. The Ural Mountains are a mountain range that runs approximately north and south through western Russia, forming a natural boundary between the continents of Europe and Asia. This geographical feature is crucial in understanding continental divisions and Eurasian geography. What is the capital of Iraq? Baghdad. Baghdad is the capital and largest city of Iraq, situated on the Tigris River. It has historically been a significant cultural, commercial, and intellectual center of the Arab world. In which ocean is the island group of the Maldives located? The Indian Ocean. The Maldives, an island nation consisting of a chain of atolls, is situated in the Indian Ocean. Its strategic location has historically been important for trade routes. Which river flows through the Grand Canyon? The Colorado. The Colorado River is the primary geological force responsible for carving the Grand Canyon over millions of years. Its continuous erosion has exposed layers of rock, providing valuable insight into the Earth's history. What is the length of the Suez Canal in kilometers? 161.9. The Suez Canal, connecting the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea, is a crucial artificial waterway for international trade. Its length of approximately 161.9 kilometers significantly shortens maritime routes between Asia and Europe. Which country was known by the Roman name Hibernia? Ireland. Hibernia was the Roman name for Ireland, reflecting the limited Roman presence and knowledge of the island. Although never fully conquered, Ireland's interaction with Roman Britain left a lasting impact on its culture and history. What is hypnophobia the fear of? Sleep. Hypnophobia is the excessive and irrational fear of sleep. It can be rooted in anxieties about losing control, nightmares, or underlying medical conditions that disrupt normal sleep patterns. What is the collective noun for a group of monkeys? A troop. A troop is the collective noun typically used to describe a group of monkeys. Collective nouns vary depending on the species and behavior of the animals being described. In what year was the microwave oven invented by Percy L. Spencer? 1947. Percy Spencer's invention of the microwave oven revolutionized cooking. His accidental discovery led to the development of a convenient appliance based on microwave radiation for heating food. Which renowned literary work, published in 1818, bears the subtitle, The Modern Prometheus? Frankenstein. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, published in 1818, explores themes of creation, ambition, and the consequences of scientific hubris, referencing the Greek myth of Prometheus who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity. In which year was the Nobel Prize in Literature first bestowed? 1901. The Nobel Prize in Literature was first awarded in 1901 as part of the original 5 Nobel Prizes established by Alfred Nobel's will. It is awarded annually to an author who has produced outstanding work in literature. Which major armed conflict commenced on October 10, 1899? The Boer War. The Second Boer War, fought between the British Empire and the Boer Republics, South African Republic and Orange Free State, from 1899 to 1902, stemmed from British expansionist policies and the discovery of gold and diamonds in the Boer territories. The titles Tsar and Kaiser are etymologically derived from which prominent historical figure? Julius Caesar. The titles Tsar, used in Russia, and Kaiser, used in Germany, both originate from Caesar, the family name of Julius Caesar, who became a symbol of imperial authority and power. Which British sovereign reigned at the commencement of the 20th century? Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria ruled the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland from 1837 until her death in 1901, marking the end of the Victorian era and the beginning of the Edwardian period. Which American president authorized the deployment of the first atomic bomb? Harry S. Truman. President Harry S. Truman made the decision to use atomic weapons against Japan in 1945, leading to the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, events that hastened the end of World War II but remain highly controversial due to their devastating impact. During which conflict did Florence Nightingale serve as a nurse? The Crimean War. Florence Nightingale gained prominence for her pioneering work in nursing during the Crimean War, 1853 to 1856, where she improved sanitation and reduced mortality rates in military hospitals, revolutionizing the field of nursing. To which event does the reference, Black, 47, allude? The potato famine in Ireland. Black, 47, refers to 1847, the worst year of the Great Famine in Ireland. The failure of the potato crop led to widespread starvation, disease, and emigration, causing immense suffering and significantly reducing Ireland's population. Which pair of brothers is credited with inventing the airplane in 1903? Wilbur and Orville Wright. Wilbur and Orville Wright are credited with inventing, building, and flying the world's first successful airplane on December 17, 1903, at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. This achievement ushered in the age of powered flight. In what year was the highwayman Dick Turpin executed by hanging? 1739. Richard Dick Turpin was a notorious English highwayman executed in 1739. His story has become heavily romanticized, blurring the line between fact and legend. What is the carat value of chemically pure gold? 24. The purity of gold is measured in carats, with 24 carats representing pure gold. Lower carat values indicate that the gold is alloyed with other metals. What is the boiling point of water expressed in degrees Fahrenheit? 212. Water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius, at standard atmospheric pressure. The boiling point can vary with changes in pressure. Who is the author of the book, A Brief History of Time? Stephen Hawking. A Brief History of Time, published in 1988, is a popular science book on cosmology by Stephen Hawking. It discusses the origin and nature of the universe, making complex concepts accessible to a general audience. What celestial body did Nicolaus Copernicus propose as the center of our universe, contrasting with the prevailing belief at the time? The sun. Before then people believed it was the earth. Nicolaus Copernicus, a Renaissance-era astronomer, challenged the geocentric model of the universe with his heliocentric theory, positing that the sun, not the earth, is at the center of our solar system. This revolutionized scientific thought. By what common name is the gas nitrous oxide better known? Laughing gas. Nitrous oxide, N2O, commonly known as laughing gas, is an anesthetic gas used in medical and dental procedures for its analgesic and anxiolytic effects. It was first synthesized in the late 18th century. In what year was Albert Einstein born? 1879. Albert Einstein, one of the most influential physicists of the 20th century, was born in 1879. His theories of relativity revolutionized our understanding of gravity, space, and time. Is the bottom stripe on the USA flag red or white? Red. The United States flag consists of 13 horizontal stripes of equal width, alternating between red and white. The bottom stripe is red, and there are 7 red stripes and 6 white stripes in total. Which year is represented by the 7 Roman numerals listed in descending order? 33,573. Roman numerals are a numeral system that originated in ancient Rome and remained the usual way of writing numbers throughout Europe well into the late Middle Ages. Understanding their additive and subtractive principles is crucial for correctly interpreting their values, particularly with larger numbers. What is the national bird of New Zealand? The kiwi. The kiwi is a flightless bird native to New Zealand and is a national icon. Due to habitat loss and introduced predators, all species of kiwi are endangered. In what year was the first FIFA World Cup held? 1930. The first FIFA World Cup was held in Uruguay in 1930. Uruguay won the inaugural tournament, defeating Argentina in the final. Which is the only country to have participated in every FIFA World Cup since its inception in 1930? Brazil. Brazil is the only nation to have qualified for and participated in every edition of the FIFA World Cup since the tournament's beginning in 1930, demonstrating their consistent presence and strength in international football. In what year was the first penalty scored in an FA Cup final? 1910. The Football Association, FA, Cup is a prestigious annual football competition in England. While the FA Cup began in 1871, the first penalty scored in a final was in 1910, highlighting a significant moment in the history of the tournament. What organization is also known as La Cosa Nostra? The Mafia. La Cosa Nostra, commonly known as the Mafia, is a Sicilian-originated organized crime syndicate. Its influence has extended globally, impacting various aspects of society, including politics and economics. Which American president gave the order to withdraw from the Vietnam War? Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon initiated the withdrawal of U.S. forces from Vietnam. This policy was a major shift in US foreign policy during the Vietnam War era. In the stock exchange, what animal is used as a nickname to describe someone who sells shares thinking that the price will fall? Bear. In stock market terminology, a bear is an investor who anticipates a decline in stock prices. They profit from this expectation by selling shares with the intent to buy them back at a lower price later. What type of headgear was named after a battle in the Crimean War? Balaclava. The balaclava, a close-fitting hood, is named after the Battle of Balaclava in the Crimean War, 1854. British troops used the headgear to protect themselves from the harsh Crimean winter. What are the three largest cathedrals in England? St. Paul's, York Minster, and Lincoln. St. Paul's Cathedral in London, York Minster in York, and Lincoln Cathedral in Lincoln stand out as significant architectural landmarks. They showcase diverse architectural styles and play an important role in British religious heritage. How many miles long is the River Nile? 4,160. The Nile River, primarily located in northeastern Africa, stretches approximately 4,160 miles, 6,695 kilometers. It is considered one of the longest rivers in the world and is a crucial water source for several countries. What nationality was Christopher Columbus? Italian. Christopher Columbus, though sailing for Spain, was of Italian origin, born in Genoa. His voyages across the Atlantic Ocean opened up new routes and interactions between Europe and the Americas. At what age were women in Britain first granted the right to vote in 1918? 30. The Representation of the People Act 1918 granted voting rights to women over the age of 30 who met certain property qualifications. This marked a significant step towards universal suffrage in Britain. Who completed the first human spaceflight in 1961? Yuri Gagarin. Yuri Gagarin, a Soviet cosmonaut, made the first human spaceflight on April 12, 1961, aboard the Vostok 1 spacecraft. This achievement was a major milestone in the space race. What was the Roman name for Scotland? Caledonia. Caledonia was the Roman name for the area of Great Britain that lies north of the Roman province of Britannia, corresponding roughly to modern-day Scotland. The Romans never fully conquered Caledonia. Which country was the first to introduce postage stamps? Great Britain. Great Britain was the first country to issue postage stamps, with the penny black being introduced in 1840. This innovation revolutionized postal services worldwide. Which prominent building was rebuilt by John Nash in 1825? Buckingham Palace. John Nash significantly remodeled Buckingham Palace in the 1820s, transforming it into the structure that is recognizable today. His work established the palace as a key symbol of the British monarchy. Who was the first president of the United States to resign from office? Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon was the first and only U.S. president to resign from office, doing so in 1974 amidst the Watergate scandal. His resignation avoided impeachment proceedings. For how many years did Louis XIV reign as King of France? 72. Louis XIV, also known as the Sun King, reigned as King of France for 72 years, from 1643 to 1715. This was one of the longest reigns of any European monarch. In what year was the first World Snooker Championship held? 1927. The first World Snooker Championship was held in 1927. Snooker, as a cue sport, gained popularity in the early 20th century and has since become a globally recognized and competitive game. The painter Canaletto is famous for painting landscapes of which two European cities? Venice and London. Canaletto, an 18th-century Venetian painter, is renowned for his detailed cityscapes, particularly of Venice and London. His works are valuable historical records of these cities during that period. Which French artist, born in 1834, was best known for his paintings of ballet dancers? Edgar Degas. Edgar Degas, a French artist born in 1834, is most famous for his paintings and sculptures of ballet dancers. His works provide insight into the world of dance and the artistic movements of the 19th century. During which centuries was the artist Leonardo da Vinci alive? 15th and 16th. Leonardo da Vinci, a quintessential Renaissance figure, lived from 1452 to 1519. His lifetime spanned parts of both the 15th and 16th centuries, witnessing significant artistic and scientific advancements. In what year did Agatha Christie pass away? 1976. Agatha Christie, the Queen of Crime, died in 1976, leaving behind a legacy of mystery novels and plays. Her works continue to captivate readers worldwide. What is the only venomous snake indigenous to Britain? The adder. The adder, Vipera barus, is the only venomous snake found in Britain. Its venom is rarely fatal to humans, but bites can be painful and require medical attention. Constructed in 1869, after what Scottish garment was which famous British ship named? The Cutty Sark. The Cutty Sark, a famous clipper ship built in 1869, was named after Cutty Sark, a Scots term referring to a short linen undergarment or shirt. The ship was renowned for its speed in the tea trade. On what specific occasion did a British television audience first exceed a British radio audience? The coronation of Elizabeth II. The coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953 marked a pivotal moment, being the first major event where television viewership surpassed radio listeners in Britain. This event heralded the growing dominance of television as a primary source of information and entertainment. In which British city can Arthur's Seat be found? Edinburgh. Arthur's Seat is an iconic extinct volcano located in Edinburgh, Scotland. It offers panoramic views of the city and is a popular hiking destination. What is the oldest university in Britain? Oxford. The University of Oxford is considered the oldest university in the English-speaking world. Its origins can be traced back to the 11th century, with evidence of teaching existing as early as 1096. In which British city was Guy Fawkes born and Dick Turpin killed? York. York is a historic city in North Yorkshire, England. It is known as the birthplace of Guy Fawkes, of gunpowder plot fame, and the location where highwayman Dick Turpin was executed in 1739. In which year was British Prime Minister Spencer Perceval assassinated? 1812. Spencer Perceval was assassinated in the lobby of the House of Commons on May 11, 1812, by John Bellingham. He remains the only British Prime Minister to have been assassinated. What is the tallest and thickest type of grass? Bamboo. Bamboo is a perennial evergreen plant belonging to the grass family Poaceae, characterized by its rapid growth and woody stems. It is found in diverse climates, from cold mountains to hot tropical regions. In nature, what does a dendrologist study? Trees. Dendrology is the scientific study of trees, shrubs, and other woody plants. It encompasses the identification, classification, structure, function, ecology, and management of these plants. What is the largest mammal in the world and can reach a length of 100 foot? The blue whale. The blue whale, Balanoptera musculus, is the largest animal on Earth, reaching lengths of up to 100 feet and weighing up to 200 tons. It is a marine mammal found in all oceans. What is the only known substance that naturally exists on Earth in all three chemical states? Water. Water, H2O, is unique in that it naturally occurs as a solid, ice, liquid, water, and gas, steam, on Earth under normal conditions. This property is vital for supporting life on the planet. What is the only animal to have 4 knees? Elephant. While elephants possess joints that appear like knees on both their front and back legs, only their hind legs are true knees. Their front legs have joints equivalent to human wrists. In what year did Sir Frederick Banting and J.J.R. MacLeod discover insulin? 1922. Sir Frederick Banting and J.J.R. MacLeod are credited with the discovery of insulin in 1921, though the research and refinement continued into 1922, leading to successful human trials. Their work revolutionized the treatment of diabetes. What is the name of the hottest, driest, and lowest location in North America? Death Valley. Death Valley is a desert valley located in eastern California. It is known for its extreme temperatures, arid conditions, and being the lowest elevation in North America, reaching 282 feet below sea level. What is the only gemstone that is composed of a single element? Diamond. Diamonds are unique gemstones composed almost entirely of carbon atoms arranged in a crystal lattice structure. Their exceptional hardness and brilliance make them highly valued. Who was the first individual to argue that the earth was not flat? Aristotle. Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, presented empirical evidence suggesting a spherical earth. He noted the changing constellations seen when moving north or south and the circular shadow of the earth during lunar eclipses. Which metal exhibits the highest electrical conductivity? Silver. Silver is the metal with the highest electrical conductivity at room temperature. Its high conductivity is due to its electronic structure. Which two numerical digits are used in the binary number system? 1 and 0. The binary system, a base 2 numeral system, represents numeric values using two symbols, 1 and 0. It is fundamental to digital electronics and computer science. Which scientist was born in Germany in 1879, became a Swiss citizen in 1901 and later became a US citizen in 1940? Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein, a pivotal figure in physics, is renowned for his theory of relativity and the equation E equals mc squared. He received the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921 for his explanation of the photoelectric effect. What is the sum of the internal angles in a hexagon? 720 degrees. The sum of the internal angles of a polygon can be calculated using the formula, n2, * 180 degrees, where n is the number of sides. For a hexagon, which has 6 sides, the sum of the internal angles is, 6 to 2, * 180 equals 720 degrees. What is an Ishihara test used for? To determine whether or not someone is color blind. The Ishihara test is a color perception test for red-green color deficiencies. It consists of a series of colored plates, each containing a circle of dots appearing randomized in color and size. What is the most common blood type in humans? O. Blood type O is the most common blood type globally, though its prevalence varies among different populations. Individuals with type O blood can donate red blood cells to all blood types, making them universal donors. What is the atomic number of the element californium? 98. Californium, Cf, is a synthetic transuranic element with atomic number 98. It is an actinide element and was first synthesized in 1950 at the University of California, Berkeley. Who is the author known for writing That Cage Is Here? Agatha Christie. Agatha Christie, 1890–1976, was a British crime writer best known for her 66 detective novels and 14 short story collections, particularly those revolving around the detectives Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple. She is the world's best-selling novelist. For whose death was James Earl Ray held responsible in 1968? Martin Luther King Jr. James Earl Ray assassinated Martin Luther King Jr. on April 4, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee. This event profoundly impacted the civil rights movement in the United States. Who incited widespread panic in 1938 with his radio adaptation of *The War of the Worlds? Orson Welles. Orson Welles' 1938 radio broadcast of The War of the Worlds presented as a news bulletin, famously caused public hysteria due to its realistic portrayal of a Martian invasion. This event highlighted the power of mass media and its potential to influence public opinion. Which prominent British newspaper suspended publication for nearly a year in 1978? The Times. The Times a major British newspaper, ceased publication for almost a year in 1978 due to labour disputes and economic challenges. This suspension underscored the evolving dynamics of the media industry and the impact of labour relations on newspaper operations. Which American president served in active duty during both World War I and World War II? Dwight D. Eisenhower. Dwight D. Eisenhower served as Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force in Europe during World War II and also held a role in World War I. He later became the 34th President of the United States. Why did Louise Brown gain notoriety in 1978? She was the first test tube baby. Louise Brown was the first human conceived through in vitro fertilization, IVF, a groundbreaking achievement in reproductive technology. Her birth marked a significant milestone in the treatment of infertility. What was the nationality of the painter Salvador Dali? Spanish. Salvador Dali was a prominent Spanish surrealist painter, known for his distinctive and dreamlike imagery. He was a major figure in the surrealist movement and is celebrated for his contributions to 20th century art. How many black keys are there on a standard piano? 36. A standard piano has 88 keys, comprising 52 white keys and 36 black keys. The black keys are arranged in alternating groups of 2 and 3. Which country traditionally provides Britain with a Christmas tree for Trafalgar Square in London? Norway. Norway has gifted a Christmas tree to London's Trafalgar Square annually since 1947 as a token of gratitude for Britain's assistance during World War II. The tree is typically a spruce, felled from a forest near Oslo. In what year was the first Christmas card produced? 1843. The first commercially produced Christmas card was created in London in 1843 by Sir Henry Cole and illustrated by John Calcutt Horsley. The card depicted a family celebrating Christmas and aimed to encourage the use of the postal service. In which city in England is the National Railway Museum? York. The National Railway Museum, a significant repository of railway history in Great Britain, is located in York. It showcases a vast collection of locomotives, rolling stock, and railway memorabilia, highlighting the evolution of rail transport. What is the most common color that appears in the flags of the world? Red. Red is the most prevalent color in national flags worldwide, often symbolizing courage, revolution, or sacrifice. Its historical and cultural significance varies across different countries and their respective flags. How many stars make up Orion's belt? 3. Orion's belt is a distinctive asterism within the Orion constellation, comprised of 3 bright stars, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintica. These stars are easily visible to the naked eye and serve as a useful tool for locating Orion in the night sky. What color are the seats in the House of Lords, red, blue, or green? Red. The House of Lords, the upper house of the UK Parliament, features red seats, distinguishing it from the green seats of the House of Commons. This color distinction is a tradition dating back centuries. In which year did Pope Gelasius declare February 14 to be Saint Valentine's Day? 498 AD. Pope Gelasius I established February 14 as Saint Valentine's Day in 498 AD. The day is now globally recognized as a celebration of love and romance. What are the 6 colors on a standard Rubik's Cube? Red, blue, white, yellow, green and orange. The Rubik's Cube, invented by Erno Rubik, is a 3D combination puzzle. Its classic version features 6 faces, each covered by 9 stickers, traditionally in these 6 colors. Which American author created the character Rip Van Winkle? Washington Irving. Washington Irving, an American short story writer, essayist, biographer, and historian of the early 19th century, is credited with creating the character Rip Van Winkle. The story, which explores themes of societal change and identity, is part of The Sketchbook of Geoffrey Crayon, Gent. In what year did the Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor? 1941. The attack on Pearl Harbor by the Japanese occurred on December 7, 1941, leading to the United States' entry into World War II. The surprise attack targeted the U.S. Pacific Fleet and resulted in significant casualties and damage. In which American state is there a town called Santa Claus, which receives over 500,000 letters and requests at Christmas time? Indiana. The town of Santa Claus, Indiana, is known for its Christmas-themed attractions and its post office, which receives a large volume of letters addressed to Santa Claus during the holiday season. This tradition contributes to the town's unique identity and appeal. In space, is it impossible to cry? True. In a microgravity environment like space, tears do not fall normally due to the lack of gravitational force. Instead, they tend to form a blob or film over the eye, affecting vision and creating a sensation different from crying on Earth. Is it true that copyrightable is the longest word in the English language that can be written without repeating a letter? False. The statement is false. Several longer words can be written without repeating a letter. Understanding linguistic properties and word construction is essential for language comprehension. Is it true that slugs do not have any noses? False. The statement is false. Slugs possess sensory organs including olfactory receptors to detect chemicals in their environment. Understanding basic animal biology and sensory mechanisms is important in zoology. Is it true that over 80,000 photographs are taken around the world every second? False. This statement is false. While many images are taken every second, the current rate does not reach 80,000 every second. Understanding the scale of global digital activities requires careful consideration of data and statistics. After which prominent historical figure was the teddy bear named? Theodore Roosevelt. The teddy bear was named after President Theodore Teddy Roosevelt, inspired by an incident during a bear hunting trip in 1902 where he refused to shoot a captured bear. What geographical location constitutes the initial word transmitted from the moon? Houston. The first word spoken on the moon was Houston, uttered by Neil Armstrong, signifying a vital link with mission control during the Apollo 11 lunar landing. In 1785, using what method of conveyance did Blanchard and Jeffreys achieve the first crossing of the English Channel? Balloon. Jean-Pierre Blanchard and Dr. John Jeffreys made history in 1785 by crossing the English Channel in a hydrogen balloon, demonstrating early advancements in aviation technology. Which pivotal historical event is commemorated by the nursery rhyme, Ring a Ring of Roses? The Great Plague. The nursery rhyme, Ring a Ring of Roses, is widely believed to allude to the Great Plague of London in the 17th century, with elements of the rhyme symbolizing symptoms and consequences of the disease. Who was the British Prime Minister at the outbreak of the Second World War? Neville Chamberlain. Neville Chamberlain served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1937 to 1940. His policy of appeasement towards Nazi Germany is a significant aspect of pre-World War II history. Which state became the 49th to join the United States in 1959? Alaska. Alaska officially became the 49th state of the United States on January 3, 1959. This marked a significant expansion of the US and its presence in the Arctic region. In what year was the first English translation of the Bible completed? 1388. John Wycliffe and his followers completed the first English translation of the Bible around 1388. This translation, known as the Wycliffe Bible, was a significant event in the history of the English language and the Protestant Reformation. What is Britain's largest lake? Loch Lomond. Loch Lomond, located in Scotland, is the largest lake in Great Britain by surface area. It's a popular tourist destination and an important part of Scotland's natural heritage. In which city is Marco Polo Airport located? Venice. Marco Polo Airport, VCE, serves the city of Venice, Italy, and the surrounding Veneto region. It is one of Italy's busiest airports and a major gateway to Venice. What is the only US state with a one-syllable name? Maine. Maine, located in the northeastern United States, is the only state with a name consisting of just one syllable. Its etymology is debated, but it's a notable geographical fact. Which English county has two separate coastlines? Devon. Devon, a county in southwest England, is unique in having coastlines on both the Bristol Channel and the English Channel. This dual coastline contributes to its diverse maritime geography. What is the second largest country in Europe, after Russia? Ukraine. Ukraine is the second largest country in Europe by land area, after Russia. It holds a significant position geographically and politically in Eastern Europe. Which of the four main Balearic Islands is closest to Spain? Ibiza. Ibiza, one of the Balearic Islands of Spain, is geographically the closest to the Spanish mainland. The Balearic Islands are an archipelago in the western Mediterranean Sea and an autonomous community of Spain. In which American state is Cape Canaveral, a launching site for space travel located? Florida. Cape Canaveral, located in Florida, is a crucial site for space launches, hosting facilities for NASA and private space companies. Its geographical location provides advantageous conditions for eastward launches over the Atlantic Ocean. What is the largest country in Africa? Sudan. While Sudan was once the largest country in Africa, after South Sudan became independent in 2011, Algeria became the largest country. Students must be aware of current geopolitical boundaries. If Alaska is the largest state in the United States, what is the second largest? Texas. Alaska, acquired from Russia in 1867, holds the distinction of being the largest state in the US. Texas, known for its significant landmass and diverse geography, is the second largest. For what sum in United States dollars did the USA purchase the territory of Alaska from Russia in 1867? $7,200,000. The Alaska Purchase in 1867 involved the United States buying Alaska from the Russian Empire for $7.2 million. This acquisition significantly expanded U.S. territory and access to natural resources. What is the fastest bipedal animal, capable of reaching speeds of approximately 40 miles per hour? Ostrich. Ostriches are flightless birds native to Africa and are renowned for their exceptional running speed, making them the fastest two-legged animal. Their powerful legs enable them to cover considerable distances quickly, primarily as a defense mechanism against predators. Why did the IBM computer known as Deep Blue garner significant media attention in 1997? It defeated Garry Kasparov at chess. Deep Blue's victory over Garry Kasparov, the then reigning world chess champion, in 1997 marked a watershed moment in the field of artificial intelligence. It demonstrated the capability of computers to surpass human intellect in complex strategic tasks, attracting worldwide interest. According to the Bible, on which day did God create the beasts of the earth? Fifth. According to the book of Genesis in the Bible, the fifth day of creation is when God created the birds and the sea creatures, and the beasts of the earth were created on the sixth day. What is the only 10-letter word that can be typed using only the top row of a standard QWERTY keyboard? Typewriter. The word typewriter is unique because all its letters appear on the top row of a QWERTY keyboard, making it a common trivia question related to language and technology. What is the name given to the system for categorizing library books? Dewey Decimal System. The Dewey Decimal System, developed by Melville Dewey in 1876, is a widely used library classification system. It organizes books and other materials by subject, assigning each a unique number to facilitate easy location and retrieval. Subsequent to Shakespeare, who holds the position of the second most published author of all time? Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens, 1812 to 1870, was a prolific English writer and social critic. He is renowned for creating some of the world's most well-known fictional characters and is recognized as one of the greatest novelists of the Victorian era. In what year was the inaugural public library in the United Kingdom established? 1847. The Museums Act of 1845 paved the way for the establishment of the first public libraries in the United Kingdom. These libraries aimed to promote education and literacy among the general population by providing access to books and resources. Hermit, spider, and blue are all types of which crustacean? Crab. Crabs are decapod crustaceans of the infraorder Brachyura, typically having a short projecting tail, abdomen, usually hidden entirely under the thorax. There are many different species of crabs found in a wide variety of habitats, including freshwater, marine, and terrestrial environments. In what year was Mary Poppins written? 1934. Mary Poppins was written in 1934. The story blends fantasy and social commentary, becoming an iconic children's book and later a successful film. Which fruit has the scientific name Malus pumila? The apple. Malus pumila is the scientific name for the common apple. Scientific nomenclature provides a standardized system for classifying and identifying organisms, avoiding ambiguity across different regions and languages. Which drink is sometimes referred to as Adam's ale? Water. Adam's ale is a colloquial term for water, often used humorously or poetically. Water is essential for all known forms of life and a critical component of ecosystems. What is the most widely consumed meat globally? Pork. Pork is the most widely eaten meat worldwide, representing a significant portion of global meat consumption. Its popularity varies regionally due to cultural and religious factors, but overall production and consumption figures consistently place it at the top. Which country is most closely associated with the dish couscous? Tunisia. Couscous, a dish made from semolina, is a staple food in North African cuisine, and Tunisia is particularly associated with its preparation and consumption. It is often served with a stew of meat and vegetables and holds cultural significance in the region. In which country did ice cream originate? China. Ice cream is believed to have originated in China, with early versions dating back to the Tang dynasty. These early forms were made with milk, rice, and ice, marking the historical beginnings of this popular dessert. Which country has the lotus flower as its national symbol? India. The lotus flower holds significant cultural and religious importance in India, symbolizing purity, enlightenment, and rebirth. It is deeply embedded in the country's art, mythology, and national identity. In which month is St. Andrew's Day observed? November. St. Andrew's Day, celebrated on November 30th, is the feast day of St. Andrew the Apostle, the patron saint of Scotland. It marks Scottish heritage with traditional celebrations. What is the capital city of Peru? Lima. Lima, founded in 1535, serves as the capital and largest city of Peru. Strategically located on the country's coast, it's a vital economic and cultural center. What is the distance, in kilometers, of the longest race in men's athletics walk? 50. The 50 kilometers walk is a long-distance athletics event. It tests endurance and is often featured in major international competitions like the Olympics and World Athletics Championships. As of the start of 2003, what automotive make and model held the distinction of being the best-selling car of all time? Toyota Corolla. The Toyota Corolla achieved significant global popularity, becoming the best-selling car due to its reliability and affordability. Its sales figures reflect the trends in the automotive industry at that time. Who is credited with designing the first modern petrol-driven internal combustion engine for automobiles? Gottlieb Daimler. Gottlieb Daimler was a German engineer and industrialist. He is credited with the development of the first internal combustion engine and pivotal contributions to the early automotive industry. In which nation was the first Audi automobile manufactured? Germany. Germany has a rich history in automobile manufacturing, with brands like Audi playing a significant role in the development and innovation of the automotive industry. Subsequent to the United States of America, which nation possesses the second largest road network globally? India. India's extensive road network is crucial for its economy and connectivity, supporting the movement of goods and people across the country. Its size is second only to that of the United States. According to established traffic regulations, passengers of what age and above bear the responsibility for ensuring their seat belts are fastened? 14. Seatbelt laws are designed to enhance passenger safety in vehicles. In many jurisdictions, individuals above a certain age, often around 14, are legally responsible for their own compliance with seatbelt regulations. In what year did Czechoslovakia become the first nation to mandate the use of seatbelts? 1969. Czechoslovakia's pioneering adoption of mandatory seat belt laws in 1969 reflected an early recognition of the importance of vehicular safety regulations. This initiative laid the groundwork for similar safety measures in other countries. Which African nation possesses the largest population? Nigeria. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa, playing a significant role in the continent's economic and political landscape. Its large population presents both opportunities and challenges related to resource management and development. In reference to the renowned song, Girl from Ipanema, in which country is Ipanema situated? Brazil. Ipanema is a famous beach neighborhood located in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, known for its beauty and cultural significance. It is an iconic symbol of Brazilian culture and tourism. What is the designation of the strait that separates the North and South Islands of New Zealand? Cook Strait. The Cook Strait is a significant body of water that separates the two main islands of New Zealand. It plays an important role in shipping and marine ecosystems in the region. In which Indian city is the Taj Mahal located? Agra. The Taj Mahal, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is located in the city of Agra, Uttar Pradesh, India. It stands as a symbol of love and architectural grandeur, attracting tourists from around the globe. Which country possesses the longest coastline in the world? Canada. Canada's extensive coastline, bordering 3 oceans, contributes significantly to its economy, environment, and maritime activities. The country's vast coastline supports diverse ecosystems and resource extraction industries. In what year did California achieve statehood within the United States of America? 1850. California became the 31st state of the United States in 1850, following the Gold Rush period. Its admission as a state marked a significant expansion of the United States and had profound implications for the country's economic and political development. Who discovered penicillin on Valentine's Day in 1929? Sir Alexander Fleming. Sir Alexander Fleming is credited with discovering penicillin. Although the observation was made in 1928, further research solidified its importance and the date became widely associated with the event. Penicillin revolutionized medicine as the first widely effective antibiotic. In which year did Charles, Duke of Orleans, dispatch the first documented Valentine's card? 1415. Charles, Duke of Orleans, sent the earliest known Valentine's card in 1415 while imprisoned in the Tower of London. This marks a significant early instance of the Valentine's Day tradition. What is the color of the cross depicted on the flag of Switzerland? White. The flag of Switzerland features a white cross on a red field. This design, adopted in 1889, is derived from the coat of arms of the Swiss canton of Schwyz. Ypirite, initially deployed by the German army in September 1917, is more commonly known as which type of gas? Mustard gas. Ypirite, or mustard gas, is a chemical warfare agent first used during World War I. It causes severe blistering of the skin, eyes, and respiratory system. How many distinct methods exist to provide change for one United States dollar? 111, 293, or 487? 293. There are 293 different combinations of US coins, pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins that can sum up to exactly $1. This is a classic combinatorial problem. How many teaspoons are contained within 1 cup? 48. In culinary measurements, 1 cup is equivalent to 48 teaspoons. This standardized measurement is important for accurately following recipes. In which anatomical location would one find the hallux? On your foot. The hallux refers to the big toe. It is the innermost digit of the foot and plays a crucial role in balance and locomotion. What are the 4 principal blood groups within the ABO blood group system? A, B, AB and O. The ABO blood group system is a fundamental classification of human blood based on the presence or absence of A and B antigens on red blood cells. Blood type O lacks both A and B antigens. What is the normal human body temperature in degrees Celsius? 37. The normal human body temperature is generally accepted to be 37 degrees Celsius, 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. This temperature can vary slightly depending on factors like activity level and time of day. By what name is seasonal allergic rhinitis more commonly known? Hay fever. Seasonal allergic rhinitis, commonly known as hay fever, is an allergic reaction primarily caused by pollen. Symptoms include sneezing, runny nose, and itchy eyes. By what name is the trachea more commonly known? Windpipe. The trachea, commonly known as the windpipe, is a tube that connects the larynx, voice box, to the bronchi, allowing air to pass into the lungs. It is an essential component of the respiratory system. What are the pits in the skin from which hairs grow called? Follicles. Hair follicles are small, pocket-like depressions in the skin that contain the hair root and associated structures. They are responsible for hair growth and regeneration. Where in the human body are the cochlea and the stirrup located? Ear. The cochlea and the stirrup, stapes, are both located in the inner ear. The cochlea is responsible for auditory transduction, while the stirrup is one of the 3 ossicles that transmit sound vibrations. How many bones are present in a normal human hand? 27. The human hand consists of 27 bones, including the carpals, wrist bones, metacarpals, bones of the palm, and phalanges, bones of the fingers. These bones provide structure and support for the hand's complex movements. In what year was the Best Foreign Language Film category introduced at the Academy Awards? 1948. The Academy Awards introduced the Best Foreign Language Film category in 1948. This category recognizes cinematic achievements from films produced outside of the United States, with dialogues primarily in languages other than English. Lanzarote and Tenerife are part of which archipelago? Canary Islands. Lanzarote and Tenerife are major islands within the Canary Islands archipelago. These islands are located off the northwest coast of Africa and are an autonomous community of Spain, known for their volcanic landscapes and diverse ecosystems. In what year did Plasticine first go on sale? 1908. Plasticine, a modeling clay composed of calcium salts, petroleum jelly, and aliphatic acids, was invented by William Harbert and first marketed in 1908. Its non-drying and reusable properties made it popular for artistic and educational purposes. Who was the first person pictured on a British postage stamp? Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was the first person to be featured on a British postage stamp. Her image initially appeared on the penny black in 1840. What is the only avian species capable of swimming but incapable of flight? Penguin. Penguins are flightless birds highly adapted for aquatic life, possessing flipper-like wings for swimming and dense bones to reduce buoyancy. They primarily inhabit the southern hemisphere, particularly Antarctic regions. Which 4 United States presidents have their visages sculpted on Mount Rushmore? George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, and Theodore Roosevelt. Mount Rushmore, located in South Dakota, features colossal sculptures of 4 influential U.S. presidents, representing the nation's birth, growth, preservation, and development, respectively. The monument was completed in 1941. In which city did gangster Al Capone operate? Chicago. Alphonse Gabriel Capone, commonly known as Al Capone, was a notorious American gangster and businessman. He gained infamy during the Prohibition era as the co-founder and boss of the Chicago outfit. By what name was the serial killer Albert DeSalvo, who killed 13 women between 1962 and 1964, better known? The Boston Strangler. Albert DeSalvo, known as the Boston Strangler, confessed to murdering 13 women in the Boston area between 1962 and 1964. Despite his confession and initial conviction, lingering doubts and controversies surround his confirmed guilt for all the murders. What essay describes the process in which an initially small event builds upon itself and subsequently becomes large and potentially dangerous? Snowball effect. The snowball effect describes a phenomenon where a small initial event or action generates momentum and leads to a significantly larger outcome. It is commonly used to explain escalating situations in various fields, including economics, social dynamics, and risk management. What is the name of the Dutch-speaking northern region of Belgium that contains approximately half of the country's population? Flanders. Flanders is the northern region of Belgium where Dutch is the primary language. It is a significant economic and cultural region within the country. Which country is traversed by both the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn? Brazil. Brazil is unique geographically because it is one of the few countries that the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn both pass through. This location contributes to the country's diverse climate and ecosystems. Which British city has an underground railway system nicknamed the Clockwork Orange? Glasgow. Glasgow's subway system, colloquially known as the Clockwork Orange, due to its bright orange color, is one of the oldest underground rail networks in the world. It serves a circular route around the city center. In which country is the original Legoland located? Denmark. The original Legoland, a theme park based on the Lego toy brand, is located in Billund, Denmark. It was opened in 1968 and remains a popular tourist destination. What is the southernmost point of England called? Lizard Point. Lizard Point, located in Cornwall, England, marks the most southerly mainland point in Great Britain. Its unique geology and diverse wildlife contribute to its designation as a national nature reserve. What is the only American state whose name begins with the letter A, but does not end with the letter A? Arkansas. Arkansas is one of the 50 states of the United States. It is located in the south-central region of the country. What is the meaning of Costa Brava? Rugged coast. Costa Brava, a coastal region in Catalonia, Spain, is known for its dramatically rugged coast, a feature shaped by the Pyrenees Mountains meeting the Mediterranean Sea. The name reflects the area's steep cliffs, coves, and diverse marine ecosystems. For what is Cotopaxi in Ecuador renowned? It is the highest active volcano in the world. Cotopaxi, located in the Andes Mountains of Ecuador, is one of the world's highest active volcanoes. Its near-perfect conical shape and frequent eruptions have made it a subject of scientific study and a significant landmark. In which 4 countries are the Alps mountain range situated? France, Italy, Switzerland and Austria. The Alps are a major mountain range system in Europe that stretches across several countries. They are significant for their biodiversity, climate influence, and recreational opportunities. By what name was the sculptor and painter Domenikos Theotokopoulos better known? El Greco. Domenikos Theotokopoulos, a prominent figure of the Spanish Renaissance, is widely recognized by his nickname, El Greco. He is renowned for his distinctive style characterized by elongated figures and vibrant colors. The book, The Satanic Verses, by Salman Rushdie caused controversy due to claims of blasphemy against which religion? Islam. Salman Rushdie's The Satanic Verses, published in 1988, sparked significant controversy within the Muslim world. The book was perceived as blasphemous by some Muslims, leading to protests and a fatwa calling for Rushdie's assassination. Which painter, along with Georges Braque, is credited with founding the Cubist movement in the early 20th century? Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso, alongside Georges Braque, pioneered Cubism in the early 20th century, revolutionizing Western art. Cubism departs from traditional representational art by depicting subjects from multiple viewpoints simultaneously, often using geometric shapes. Which astronaut uttered the famous phrase, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind"? Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong spoke these words upon becoming the first human to walk on the moon on July 20, 1969. This event was a pivotal moment in human history and space exploration. Which politician is credited with the statement, "A week is a long time in politics"? Harold Wilson. Harold Wilson, a British Labour Prime Minister, popularised the phrase, "A week is a long time in politics," reflecting the rapidly changing nature of political events and public opinion. What is the duration, in seconds, between successive strikes of the Big Ben bell? 5. The Great Bell, also known as Big Ben, is part of the Elizabeth Tower in London. There is a 5-second interval between each of its strikes to allow the sound to propagate. What innovation was introduced for football referees in 1970? Red and yellow cards. The introduction of red and yellow cards in football occurred during the 1970 FIFA World Cup. These cards are used to caution, yellow, and dismiss, red, players for rule infractions. What was Muhammad Ali's birth name before his name change? Cassius Clay. Muhammad Ali, born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. in 1942, changed his name after converting to Islam. He is widely regarded as one of the most significant and celebrated sports figures of the 20th century. What is the largest state in the United States of America? Alaska. Alaska is the largest state in the US by area, covering over 665,000 square miles. Its vast size encompasses diverse terrains, including mountains, forests, and coastlines. In the realm of politics, what event was broadcast live on British television for the first time on March 20, 1990? The budget. The live broadcast of the British budget on March 20, 1990, marked a significant shift in political transparency and public access to governmental financial planning. This allowed for immediate public and media scrutiny of the government's fiscal policies. In 1796, for which disease did Edward Jenner discover a vaccination? Smallpox. Edward Jenner's 1796 discovery of the smallpox vaccine is a landmark achievement in medical history. His work led to the eradication of a deadly disease and established the principle of vaccination as a method of disease prevention. What is graphology the study of? Handwriting. Graphology is the analysis of handwriting to identify the writer's personality traits. While its scientific validity is debated, it is used in some contexts for personnel screening or forensic analysis.